The stage is set. Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes will main event both night 1 and night 2 of WrestleMania, but there's plenty more matches still to be involved. I've gone through 15 different matches for the WrestleMania match card based on what we're being told and what we're expecting to see come the show of shows. Who will face Gunther? Will Kevin Owens find a way in? What will Liv Morgan be doing? And who will she turn heel on? Stick around, let's go through the whole damn card. With one Royal Rumble winner taking both main events for night 1 and night 2. What would have been the main event for night 1 will have to go on earlier. We open the show with Becky Lynch versus Rhea Ripley. This is a match that they've been building for a long time now. The reason that Becky Lynch has not been involved in the top championships is for this moment. They've been planning it for about a year, and Becky Lynch has been building towards it for that entire time. Rhea Ripley, meanwhile, has been unstoppable, and even though she hasn't had the most high-profile opponents for the entire way through, you don't get much bigger than Becky Lynch. Rhea Ripley's championship reign, however, is not due to end anytime soon. She's going to finish the collection, she's going to get all of the horsewomen beat, and she is going to celebrate atop an absolute mountain of bodies. Rhea Ripley will go to essentially the next level as a top-level champion, even more so than she is already. Next up, a one-on-one showcase. AJ Styles takes on LA Knight, and AJ LA will be a battle for the ages. AJ Styles has not signed a new contract with the WWE, and even though he has now had the chance to work with Roman Reigns, he's not particularly involved in championship pictures. This match with LA Knight will definitely help to elevate LA Knight, but it won't do much for AJ Styles. With this in mind, the only logical choice is for LA Knight to pick up the win and use that momentum to take him towards the United States Championship in days, maybe years to come. As regards Styles, I'm not sure where he goes or what he does next. I'm not 100% certain it's with the WWE. Jade Cargill is next up, and she's set to face Nia Jax. The reason for this is because while Rhea Ripley was able to defeat Nia Jax, she wasn't able to defeat her with any particular gusto. It was a strong, fierce competition. Jade Cargill, however, will demolish Nia Jax, and while they've built Nia Jax up as a legitimate threat, including right now with Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan, Jade Cargill will be absolutely capable of taking her to pieces. This in many ways is the flip side of the undefeated streak and the main event opportunity that Nia Jax had, plus the win over Becky Lynch. She's had the favours and now she's going to give the favours back, putting over Jade Cargill. The reason the match is going to be a squash as much as anything is that the WWE still don't believe Jade Cargill is fully ready for long PLE matches. This fits their needs for everyone involved perfectly. The United States Championship match is up next. Logan Paul, the defending champion, will face off with Randy Orton, but I've added Kevin Owens into there because there's plenty of bad blood still left to play out, and any time we can get Kevin Owens and Randy Orton in the ring together is a time that I'm going to be very happy. This is a hard one to predict. Logan Paul was originally going to be dropping the championship to LA Knight at the show of shows, but the involvement of Randy Orton certainly suggests that Randy will be coming away with the championship, not for the first time that he's been involved in the US Championship match at WrestleMania. Kevin Owens, in the meantime, didn't really have any distinct plans laid out for him when he moved from Raw to SmackDown. That really shows in how he's been used. This for me just feels like getting him on the card, quite possibly to take the pin. I've got Randy Orton for this one. We go back to the women's division now, and Tiffany Stratton has impressed the WWE more than enough to earn her shot at WrestleMania. The original plan for Bianca Belair was Bianca versus Charlotte, and while Naomi is back in the WWE, they weren't able to really put many plans together because everything was already in place for WrestleMania. I have Bianca Belair versus Tiffany Stratton, with Bianca Belair winning. This, once again, much like with Nia Jax, is Tiffany Stratton able to give back, but also further establish herself on the main roster. Tiffany Stratton was very well received in the Elimination Chamber, with fans booing Liv Morgan when Stratton was eliminated. Liv Morgan also eliminated Bianca Belair, so there isn't necessarily a natural end point that we get to, but we've got plenty of SmackDowns to make this one work. I think Tiffany Stratton very much deserves her opportunity, and I would hate to see Bianca Belair miss out because Charlotte's injured. Next up, a six-man tag for a number of people who are deserving of a match at WrestleMania, even though it's taken them a while to get to this point. Recently returned, the Authors of Pain have joined Karrion Kross. Meanwhile, the faction between the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley has not gone heel as intended. This is a pivot and it works for me. I can see this match being extremely physical, important when you've got matches such as a Logan Paul, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens match and a Bianca Belair, Tiffany Stratton match. Physical in a very different way. This one should make you uncomfortable, it should be brutal, it should leave a sour taste in the mouth. Honestly, this could be a Karrion Kross going out party, Triple H finally using him in the way that he originally intended, and I'm excited to see it. I have Karrion Kross and the Authors of Pain winning this one. Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits giving a little back before heading towards Tag Team Championships and potentially a feud at the very top for Bobby Lashley. For our main event of night one, we have the tag team match. The Rock and Roman Reigns against Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. Cody, Seth and Roman will all be doing double duty. The Rock, it doesn't look like he will be doing so. There are many moving parts here. The rest of the members of the Bloodline, Jey Uso. We could also see Drew McIntyre getting involved in this one. Personally, I think the Judgment Day might find a way to cause a bit of a distraction. I see The Rock pinning Cody Rhodes in the main event of night one of WrestleMania. This sets a clear precedent that The Rock was able to do what later on Roman Reigns might not. I'm not the happiest of the double duty, Cody Rhodes and Roman getting both main events, but The Rock is hard to argue with. He brings a lot of lapsed viewership, and a main event of night one rather than night two, which he was originally angling for, is probably a very good thing. Roman vs Rock will still be coming down the line, more on that later. As regards Judgment Day, it is not yet their time, it is just a tease before we go for it. Night 2 opens with the World Heavyweight Championship match. Seth Rollins defending against Drew McIntyre. Fully deserving. My expectation is that after WrestleMania, after a brief break to basically let himself rest up a little bit, Drew McIntyre will be able to announce a new contract with the WWE. That's what I personally believe. As regards Seth Rollins, I also expect him to take a little bit of break, so Drew McIntyre is going to need someone to chase when he does eventually return. My money is on Damian Priest. In the match between Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre, yes, I have Damian Priest winning, cashing in to Heist of the Century, Mr. Heist of the Century, and to run away with the World Heavyweight Championship to add to the Tag Team Championships and, of course, the Women's World Championship, all present and correct in Judgment Day. Don't worry, Seth's not going to take it lying down. Next up for the Intercontinental Championship, there are so many competitors for Gunther. We've been talking Bron Breakker. There's a possibility of Chad Gable. I've gone with Sami Zayn here. Sami Zayn was originally going to be facing Drew McIntyre, defeating him as Drew McIntyre potentially left the company. Sami Zayn versus Gunther will be a big opportunity for Sami Zayn, considering this year has not necessarily been one of his best. He spent a lot of time getting beaten up recently, and he's not really considered one of the top names anymore. Unfortunately, after this match at WrestleMania, I don't see that changing. Sami Zayn's a former Intercontinental Champion, but he was never elevated by the championship to the level that Gunther is, because Gunther himself is being elevated. Gunther retains. The original plan was for Gunther to defeat Brock Lesnar, but Brock Lesnar doesn't look likely to come back to the WWE ever again. We go next to the Women's Tag Team Championships. I've kept this as a 2-on-2 match rather than adding too many other tag teams, but there are teams who could definitely be more involved in this. Chance and Carter, for example. I've gone with the Kabuki Warriors, that being Kairi Sane and Asuka, taking on Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Liv Morgan's revenge tour continues apace. She's got an eye on Rhea Ripley, and I can see that happening shortly after WrestleMania, but there is a pretty big face turn in the offing for Rhea Ripley, in case people haven't noticed that one. So if you want to take on Rhea Ripley, you're going to have to go heel. This is a match for me. The Kabuki Warriors retaining the championships. Damage Control looking fantastic heading into what will be Bayley versus Io later. But when it comes to Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, I see the heel turn kicking in right after the match. I see Liv Morgan turning on Raquel, attacking her almost immediately after the match is over. This leads into a brief feud for the two of them before Liv Morgan then goes straight for Rhea Ripley. Liv Morgan will be able to tear down a few houses and make this one happen. And honestly, this is going to be main event Liv Morgan. If you want to get it to the top, she needs to crack a few eggs to get there. The Bloodline section of the night starts early. Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso. I can't lie, I'm not particularly excited about this one, but it is playing a larger part in a story that will happen later on in the night. Now, Jey Uso will be eliminating Jimmy Uso from contention. Jimmy Uso will take the loss here, and Jey Uso will stand tall. He's not just elevating himself, he's already been elevated well beyond his brother. And while Jimmy Uso is still a very fine character actor and a great wrestler in his own light, he is not to the level of Jey Uso when it comes to serious elevation just yet. This won't just be a win, this will be an elimination. Jey Uso ensuring that Jimmy Uso is not able to go to ringside for the main event against Cody Rhodes. Next up, the Men's Tag Team Championships. I've gone three-way for this one. Judgment Day, that being Damian Priest and Finn Balor, versus DIY, that being Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, versus the Awesome Truth, that being R-Truth and The Miz. Now, I personally see DIY picking up the win here, taking it into Gen Pop and working with what is a brand new, really different tag team division, focused around smaller, quicker guys and smaller, quicker matches. Damian Priest stands out here in this match because of his sheer size, but by this point, he'll already be the World Heavyweight Champion. Now, I also see Seth Rollins getting involved in this, distracting Damian Priest, beginning the fracturing of Judgment Day, because essentially Damian Priest prefers the World Heavyweight Championship, and also potentially allowing Finn Balor to be pinned and sign off with a goodbye. Bloodline Part 2 could be a serious opportunity for Bron Breakker. Solo Sikoa is still in play. Bron Breakker has just signed with SmackDown. He was called up to replace Brock Lesnar and he's been getting rave reviews. I have Bron Breakker versus Solo Sikoa. Once again, I see this one being incredibly violent, incredibly physical, and also incredibly fast-paced. These two should have some incredible chemistry. They've already worked together in the past, and they know each other very, very well. I can again see Solo Sikoa being eliminated from contention to come out in the main event. That leaves Roman Reigns with only one real ally, The Rock, who won't have been seen at this point outside of backstage. The final match before the main event will be Io Sky defending her Women's Championship against Royal Rumble winner Bayley. And I'm going to upset a lot of people here, and you can shout at me in the comments. I have Io Sky winning. Bear with me on this one. Dakota Kai is clearly a double agent. She's clearly looking for any opportunity to stab Bayley in the back. She just wants to make sure that she's fully covered in doing it. I've been told many times that this is the beginning of the story, not the end of it, and Dakota Kai is the one who'll come out of this looking the best. I definitely see Dakota Kai taking an opportunity to screw over Bayley, ensuring that Io Sky retains. Later on, Bayley will still come out with the championship, defeating Io Sky, leading towards a match at SummerSlam when Bayley takes on Dakota Kai, the original Free of Damage Control represented and representing there. Damage Control, however, leaves with Dakota Kai in tow and Free championships still in their domain. Finally, this leaves us with the main event of WrestleMania, another main event for Roman Reigns and another rematch with Cody Rhodes. We got this last year. It didn't work out for Cody because of Solo Sikoa. Bron Breakker's taken care of that. Jimmy Uso's been taken care of by Jey Uso. This leaves Cody Rhodes one-on-one with Roman Reigns. Now, Roman will probably be very confident that he has The Rock in his corner. He will not have The Rock in his corner. Paul Heyman will be trying to get in touch with The Rock. That will not be working out for him. Roman Reigns loses to Cody Rhodes, and The Rock is livid. Comment below what you want to see at WrestleMania, and if you want to keep up with the Vince McMahon investigation, check out the video on screen now about the active investigation into John Laurinaitis. I'll see you soon.